I always forget. So, everybody good? Everybody ready for the Mashiach coming tomorrow or tonight? We still hope.
I mean,
Tisha B'Av is, it always comes around, and we always hope. I think there used to be an old minute to throw away certain killers. They didn't keep the kinnis from year to year, if I remember correctly, as a kid. They used to
that's
buy.
why we always bought paperback, right?
What?
Just paperback, never hardcover.
Right. Well, that's why it's still paperback. I mean, today, Art Scroll upgrade everything, but in the old days, I remember there was a minute not to use the same kinnis. All right. What can I say? And I also say Tisha B'Av for me is the only day of the year that I watch movies. Most people, I don't watch movies, only on Tisha B'Av. They make all these special movies for the Tisha B'Av. It's the one day a year. How ironic that Tisha B'Av is the day that I watch movies. Okay, I happen to have an old Talmud in mind. Some of these, like there's going to be one tomorrow for, who is it again? Who is it again? I'm trying to remember who it was. They're having one, what's his name? Rabbi Freifeld and Ronnie Greenwald. They're doing one. So the film producer's name is Big. It says its name is Guy Orman. So no Talmud mind. So it's good to see Nachas anyway. But okay, and some shuls have like a whole day, it's like nonstop movies, and also you can listen on the this year especially because there's no normalcy in our life. So there's so many things online. It's a little bit overwhelming also. Okay, at any rate, we're going to go through. I'm going to read you. They have, and I'm up to the section here where they give practical examples. I tell you the truth, it's almost comical because a lot of them, again, these are written in camps, and it almost, if you go through them, you say like, wasn't that what camp was all about? You'll soon see. For those of us who went to camp as kids, I went to 8 years as a camper and camp monk, and so like a lot of these things are just like without that. I mean, it's like you didn't grow up, but I'll share with you, and at least it's something to inspire it. I don't want to be cynical about it, but I'll read it to you, and you'll see how far off we are from really acting appropriately. So it goes like this. He says, some of the comments we're going to talk about are Leisainu, and some are because of Atoy HaKamecha. He's not getting exactly into which detail. I say like this. As no, avoid saying, there's an importance. Actually, a pasuk in Chumash, I believe. I think one of the Mefarshim say that. You shouldn't say you are label someone. Say, why aren't you doing it? You can ask, but why are you so lazy, right? Or why are you always lazy? I believe one of the Rishonim, I forgot which one it is, the Moshe Rabbeinu, when he was prohibited from coming to Eretz Yisrael because of the chet of Memoriva, of the waters, that the contention, right? Then he had to hit the rock instead of talking to the rock. So I think one of the Mefarshim say, because he says Shimu no Hamayrim, because he called them rebellers. He didn't say Shimu no, those who didn't listen or whatever. He labeled them Mayrim, rebellers. When you label someone, sometimes that's something you can never get rid of. And also, you always, when you say always, it means that's no exception. Who is like that? For example, your sibling is not in the mood of doing something. Don't say you're so lazy or you're always lazy. Your comment can last forever, right? Because a person becomes what he hears that people say he is. And then the rest of his life, he's just defeated and has no sense of self-esteem. If you ever read Rabbi Twersky's books, most of them have that theme in it about the importance of self-esteem. We all know that. We all know what we suffer from lacking in the self-esteem department, which is sometimes self-defeating. Okay, at any rate, okay, if someone got the answer wrong on a test, and again, this is in a camp, he said, you can't say, hey, you're so dumb, come on, it was such an easy question. Don't go up online if you don't know your stuff. You're ruining it for our team. Seems like that. If someone goes up in camp to have the Grand Bechina or the Chidon, some sort of contest, and he says, you're such a crybaby, calm down, it's only a few points, if someone made a mistake, don't call a person a crybaby. If someone is not good at playing a game you're playing, do not call him any names or make any derogatory insulting comment, even if he's causing your team to lose the game. Remember, as they say, it's only a game. Go try to teach that to kids. Examples, you don't know how to play, stop ruining the game. I told you that you don't know how to hit, you don't know how to swing. You should be batting last. It wasn't worth bringing your glove. You're better at staying in the bunkhouse. We use the same things that the kids do. We're just a little more sophisticated. Like, you burnt the spaghetti again? Okay. Screaming out bad pitch or bad shot or bad aim, bad move, or come on is I noticed Dvar. That's pretty tough. Chanting, we want a better, not a broken ladder when someone strikes out. We want a batter, not a broken ladder. Telling someone you're such a cheater is also a notice verb. Scaring someone is a notice verb. For example, it's also to tell your friend there's a bug crawling up your sleeve. I don't know. I used to tease my grandmother, so I don't know. I would go. We used to tease her. She was an easy tease. He then starts to scream and shakes it over his hand. Then you tell him, "Ha! I was just joking. There's no bug on you." Chaim had hid in a dark corner and waited for Yankel to come by. When Yankel passed, he jumped by and screamed, "Boo!" He was over on those Dvarim. Someone went away for Shabbos and we got some of Shabbos clothing. I mean, this takes out the whole experience of camp. And he had not to wear. I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty. I tell you, I'll admit it. He said, "Here, I'll give you my example and what he says." Someone went away for Shabbos and forgot home some of his Shabbos clothing. He had to wear sneakers to shul, telling him it's not Shabbosdik. Who wears sneakers to shul on Shabbos? As I know, it's Dvarim. Yeah, I remember sometimes I see people come to shul in casual shoes, and I see them. I say, "Whoa!" I say, "Well, these are your big day Shabbos. These are your big day your sneakers Shabbos, your Shabbos sneakers." They say, "I'm guilty also." So sometimes we say it in jest, but sometimes people are offended. Got to be careful. Cynicism and sarcasm is an easy tool that we all fall into. But we got to be careful. Chaim hid in the dark corner. Okay, Sam Boo. Someone went. Oh no, we did that one. Expressing your happiness with words when your friend gets in trouble. Obviously, you can't make him feel like you're happy. Like say, "Yay!" Destroying the happiness of a friend, showing off something by telling him, "That's nothing. I can do much better. Let me show you." Your friend is excited that he can jump off from a high step, telling him, "That's nothing. I can do it from a much higher step." Your friend comes over to you excited to tell you that he's got to level 2 in a certain game, and you should make him feel good, telling him, "Oh, that's nothing." You should make him feel. You're telling him that's nothing. Everyone can do that. I can get to level 6 as I know it's Dvar. Commenting on someone else's clothing, saying it's so weird, nerdy, junky. Look at mine. I have the really good ones. Okay, this is classic stuff. Your little brother comes home from school with something. You're telling him, that's childish. That's babyish. Your little brother comes home before Sukkot with a Sukkot decoration, and you say, it's just a couple of scribbles. You demean it. Telling someone that they're not capable of doing something at all can be hurtful. Your little brother is building a house out of Lego or building a clubhouse. You see he doesn't know what he's doing, telling him, teasing away, "That's not how you make a house. Let me show you." All these things are a nice Dvarim. Finally, let's just finish up. I mean, it's a little tedious here, but we got to get through it because I took a commitment to learn it. Your younger brother is carrying something and is old enough to do it. Like carrying a bottle of milk or cake pot at the table. Telling him, "Don't drop it." He says, "Don't drop it or be careful," can hurt his feelings. That's also nice. I'm saying it in a way that you treat him like, what do you think? I'm a baby. I can't do it. He said it's better. Let him drop it and clean up the mess, which than to hurt his feelings. You're in the middle of doing something. Well, we do this to each other, Let me do it already, like you see, kids, siblings, older siblings, even spouses, You can be guilty of that in so many ways. Let me do it, and the other spouse feels like, "What do you mean? You don't think I can handle that?" It says, it's really something. It says, after hearing the price someone paid for something he bought, telling him you got ripped off. This is another one. Telling someone that he bought a bad deal, even if he did, it has no purpose. If you can't, maybe if you can, convince him to return it, but very often a person already has it, he's using it, and you tell him you got ripped off, you could have got it cheaper, it's not worth that much, you can get it for cheaper. These all are nice Dvarim. If it's a toela, so you could save him from the purchase the next time, or maybe you can return it. But simply to tell someone after the fact that they got gypped is no purpose, and that's one of the actual examples in Shulchan Aruch. Your friend comes over to you excited to tell you the latest news, and that's also often I think we're guilty of that also because I I feel bad reading this. This is like good Musa. I'm back in camp again. I get these memes. I get thousands of them. Everyone sends me, and sometimes I say, "Yeah, I've been there, done that." So, sometimes I can, a person send it to you. You shouldn't say that. Interesting. That's old news. It's about time. Remember the old joke we used to say? The last time I heard that, I fell off my dinosaur. Remember that one? Okay. Well, we grew up with this. I remember when I was a kid, it's in it. They used to have, maybe they still have it. They used to buy a pack for, I don't know, it was a nickel, a dime, a quarter, I forgot what it was. It was called insult cards. You had little cards and you had insults on it. I remember the one I remember, I always remember this one. If you tell your friend and you say, you want to lose 10 pounds of ugly fat, chop your head off. Now, by the way, I should have brought, I have it home. There's a whole, I think there's a book in Yiddish. There's a lot of Yiddish sayings, how to curse people in Yiddish, which are all very humorous. And it's really, I forgot already as many of them. I forgot all of it. Right now I'm going blank. But there's a whole in the Yiddish culture, it's all kinds of clever curses. But okay, it's not for now. At any rate, your friend comes over. Yeah, that's all. One should act if you never heard it before by saying, wow, or asking him details about it. Similarly, and again, there's another interesting one. I'll tell you a word about that. It says similarly, when someone tells you an old word, he tells you Dvar Torah, and on the parish he said, that's an old word. You just heard it. Now everyone knows it since they were in 4th grade. Where were you all these years that you just heard of it? As I know, it's Dvarim. Well, stop telling someone simply you heard it already. There's a pasuk in Mishlei that says Hameisir Oznoi. We'll finish with this. Hameisir Oznoi Mishmaya Torah. If someone turns his ear from hearing a Dvar Torah, Gam Tfilah Seteva, his Tfilah is also an abomination. So what's that talking about? Well, if a person doesn't listen to Torah, why is that Mida Keneged Mida? Usually it's measured. If someone says, Hameis Oznoi Torah, Gam Tfilah Seteva, Shem doesn't listen to Tfilah, so it could be simple because God is talking to us. When we learn Torah, it's Him talking to us. When we daven, we're talking to Him. It says, you don't listen to me, I don't listen to you. But some say, the pshat, and this will close with for today, it says, Torah goes like this. Someone tells you Vart, and you say, I heard it already. Like the last example he gave. He said, I heard it already. God tells you, you know what? Gam Tfilah Seteva. I heard it yesterday. I heard it 3 times yesterday, the day before. You've been saying the same thing for 20 years. You want me to listen to it? I've heard it before. Obviously, you never say, I heard it before, because God heard us. And if we start saying we heard it before, then God say, I heard your tefillahs before too. We hope that Hashem will always listen to us, just like we'll always listen to His words. And that's it for tonight. This is gonna conclude, unless we do a Bracha for Shabbos. I'll see if my son was up to it. But for tomorrow night, we're not doing it, and Thursday night, we're not doing it. So hopefully, I wish everyone, till the next time we meet, everyone should have an easy fast. And if you have a problem fasting, or if you have health issues, don't forget to call your local unorthodox rabbi like me. And don't forget to ask a shayla. It's not always so simple. You have to fast. Sometimes you're not allowed to fast if you have health issues. So whatever it may be, don't be shy to ask. And everyone, either way, have an easy and meaningful fast. May Hashem listen to our tears and our sensing the pain of the Shekhinah, and hopefully He'll realize that we're all on the same page. And Hashem will bring the Gula Shleim of behavior made to Amen. And until then, we'll try to be careful not to insult each other. And no jokes. Okay, all the best.